In just a minute, you will have a chance to see my sit-down interview with Alexis Brudnicki of Baseball America. She has some great stories. I really enjoyed talking to her. So don't forget to tune in for that. So I guess we'll just get started. So once again, thanks for joining me. I think this would be really cool for the viewers. We're trying to get more female viewers, female voices, because there's quite a good female viewership on the show, 30%. So I think this would be really good for them to hear. Why do you think that the IOC is kind of hesitant to put baseball in the Olympics? Because we see other sports that don't appear to be at least more popular that are in the Olympics every year.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think baseball is a tough sell when it is in the middle of the season. All of the players who are the best players for their countries are essentially playing minor league or major league baseball. And it is tough for their teams to want to let them go. It is tough for them to sacrifice whatever they may need to sacrifice in order to leave their team or leave their organization. It is just a really tough sell, and I don't think Major League Baseball is ever going to kind of put a pause on the season to let guys play. So in Japan this year, in the league, the baseball league in Japan, they are pausing their season and they are letting their players play for their country. But I think it is just a different viewpoint, and I'm just not sure it'll ever get there the way that kind of hockey is, or anything that might be comparable is there.
Right. And with the NBA, their season never happens. So for them, it doesn't matter either, right? They don't never have to worry about that. So that makes it easy for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you think about, obviously, the basketball, Team USA Dream Team got a lot more hype after Michael Jordan's documentary, The Last Dance. And I think it kind of got people pumped for the best players playing in the Olympics and what they could do when they're together on one team. So, I mean, I think a lot of people would love to see it. I don't know exactly what all the difficulties are, but I mean, it would be great. And I mean, MLB does have the answer of the World Baseball Classic, but I mean, the Olympics are a whole different beast.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. So speaking of the Olympics and the American team winning the qualifying tournament and moving on to automatically in the Olympics, just kind of what can Canadians expect for them? Are they the favorite to win more so than these Latin American countries, or what would you say? I know you follow that.
I would say it's going to be, I would say it's going to be hard to beat Japan. Japan is going to have all of its top players. It is putting a pause on its season. It is the host country. They are going to have the fans. They are going to have everything in their favor. And Japan has always been an incredible baseball country. They are just unbelievably dedicated to their craft. And I think Japan is going to be really hard to beat. Mexico came out really strong in the Premier 12, which they qualified out of. Korea is also playing in the Olympics, Team Israel, Team USA, and then another team to be determined from that last chance qualifier. But I think personally, I think Japan is probably going to be the team to beat.
Don't go anywhere. More with Alexis when we return.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Why do you think that women's baseball is not in the Olympics? And do you think that this kind of supports the notion of, like a lot of people only think that women should play softball? Do you think this kind of supports that sexist idea?
Yeah, it's tough because I do think softball deserves to be there, but I think women's baseball also deserves to be there, and maybe men's softball as well. When Toronto hosted the Pan Am Games in 2015, we got a chance to see men's baseball, women's baseball, men's softball, women's softball. But I think for organizations like the IOC, I mean, even the WBSC, kind of the answer to having equality for men's baseball has always been women's softball. It's just kind of the default, even though women want to play baseball too. There's just that default answer like, oh, well, here's equality and this is what it looks like. And it's women's softball. So it is tough. The women's team also, the Canadian women's national team also doesn't have the same opportunities or the same money behind them or the same kind of chances to get together, which makes it really difficult to remain competitive. And the team is very competitive. The team is consistently ranked among the top teams in the world. But all of the teams really kind of have that battle. All of the women playing women's baseball in Canada, in the US, in Australia, in Mexico, I think most places outside of Japan, the women have full-time jobs. They are surgeons, teachers, doctors, police officers, and they're just doing this to try and, keep the dream alive. And for them, the Pan Am Games in 2015 was the first opportunity ever to even be at a multi-sport event. So that was kind of not even a thought. And then obviously the Olympics were just like way out of anybody's mind. And I know that the women just truly appreciated what it was like to be in an athlete's village, to be around these other Canadian athletes, to get a chance to be outfitted by Team Canada, to have kind of the opportunities that they have that they never really get. And so, I mean, they didn't get a chance to even return to the next Pan Am Games in 2019. The women's baseball just wasn't a part of it because Peru didn't have a women's baseball team. So, I mean, it's always been kind of a tough slog for women's baseball and for people who are looking for those opportunities. And I think that women's softball has always just been an easy answer when people are saying, you need equity here, you need equality here. And people are saying, well, the answer to men's baseball is women's softball. I think it's just always been the easy answer, and people don't often try to dig deeper than that.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the pre-show today. Once again, my name is Rachel Bishop, the Rod Pedersen Show intern here. And be sure to keep your dial on Game Plus or wherever you're watching, because Rod and Darren are coming up.
So this was my weekend, by the way. This is why I'm so happy. I bought goalie equipment from Canadian Tire, street hockey gear.
The one question I have, were you playing with a rubber puck at least?
No, of course not.
You had street hockey pads on and no protection other than
I wasn't even wearing a can.
How about that?
And I stacked my pads. I'm like, whoa, I got nothing on down here. I never thought that I would be leaving my pins. Seriously.
Wow.
And no mask.
Talk about putting them on the table.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, Canada, or good afternoon to our Eastern friends and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. It's a hump day. Canada's daytime sports talk show is on the air. And for another straight day, Moose Dupont is not with us, but he actually is going to be with us virtually here in moments. We've got breaking news to get to. I'll ring the bell in a second for that. It's a very big sports day. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final tonight. Boy, Tampa Bay has woken up, and they're not very happy with us. That's coming up in the quick six show topics here. And our good friend Craig Smith is going to be with us. Our director of scouting, two-time Grey Cup champion, is going to be with us right here in the bunker to break down some of the biggest sports news today and moving forward. And we're going to take you inside a CFL bubble, everybody. Ricky Collins Jr. of the Toronto Argonauts is going to be joining us from the University of Guelph, where the Argos are hosting their training camp and have all their players sequestered there. Ricky Collins Jr. coming up. That is in hour 2. And before we get to the quick six show topics of everything that I wanted to talk about today. And by the way, Clark, did you get those photos that I sent? They're ready to go? Okay, so they're coming up here in the quick six. But first, breaking news. The Canadian Football League says partnership talks with the XFL have been jointly halted. In March, the CFL and XFL announced they were poised to begin serious talks about a potential partnership. Neither side said who initiated talks first, only that they'd agreed to collaborating on ways to grow football. CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie saying in a statement today, our talks with the XFL, exploring the potential for collaboration and innovation, have been positive and constructive. While we remain open to finding new ways to work together in the future, we and our XFL counterparts have jointly decided to not pursue any formal arrangements at this time. There's more, but that's all that you need to know. My initial thought was, what a bloody waste of time and energy. And Arash said similar things, which I'll get to. But before I get to the quick six, let's bring in Moose DuPont, our normal co-host and the CEO of this company, DuPont Media. He is on the deck, I see. Hey, Moose. Good day. How you doing, my friend?
Yes. Good morning. Doing really well. How are you?
I'm good. So we were on the phone this morning, you and I, talking about this. We kind of saw things the same way, but you have a slightly different take. Again, mine is that this is a complete waste of time. Why did you waste our time on this? The reaction's been immense and broad, and we'll get into it more with Smitty later on in the second segment. But how about you? What did you think when you heard this morning?
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing to go through all of this, if they were having all of these talks and to only just throw it or cast it aside. But my initial thought was this makes a lot of sense because the CFL is planning for a season. So if they're putting all their efforts into a season, they can't be spending time talking to the XFL. So of course it's going to be put on hold. Even if they were planning on, looking at something for 2022 or 2023 or 2024, this moment right now is never going to be about having these conversations. So this just seems like business as usual. We were never expecting the XFL, CFL to, create a plan for the 2021 season, right? So as soon as the CFL announced that they were coming back, you kind of figure those talks were going to stop anyway. Does it mean it's dead? Does it mean it's not? I don't think this really tells us one way or the other.
I see the boys from the Mark cast down in Seattle are watching the show right now, and they asked me the last time I was on, they said, why haven't we heard anything about the XFL-CFL collaboration lately? And I said, because they don't want you thinking about it. They want you to, from a CFL perspective, they want you to concentrate on this season. That's what you're talking about. But Arash Madani said it well. A total waste of time, energy, and resources. Could have reshaped its business model. Instead, months of idiocy, and the bag is empty. A waste of time, all of it. And I'm disappointed. Somebody wrote in here earlier on Twitter and said, oh, thank God. I actually thought they were going to grow the league for a second.
How about that?
So that's my take. I'm disappointed at this news today. The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, let me call it up here. You can vote on Twitter and you can vote on Facebook. The poll question is, how do you feel about the CFL and XFL breaking up? 72% of respondents saying they're happy that the CFL and XFL have just agreed to see other people as of this morning. So that's the breaking news. We'll get into it more because it's a big hockey day. Moose, are you ready to get into some hockey?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it back on the screen here. So Game 5 tonight. We are running an Instagram poll right now from our show account at the Rod Pedersen Show. Who do you think wins tonight? Montreal at Tampa Bay. I voted Habs, man. It's elimination the rest of the way. I've been watching all the Sports Center. The guy, I've seen so many stats, I can't keep them all straight. Tampa's either 32-0 coming off a loss or 47-0 coming off a loss over the last 2 years. Whatever it is, Darren, it's a lot. But I agree with Dave Poulin, who said that means they're due for a loss. I got Habs tonight.
It does.
Ole, ole, ole. How about you?
Yeah, I can't get that song out of my head either. After we literally put 10 seconds on our Instagram story, and we were like, the two of us were singing it on the airplane all the way home. It was wild. But you know what? I think, I've got the Habs too, because there's a little taste of hope in that locker room now. And, they know that they're just another step closer. So, you know what? I'm with the Habs on this. I was, following Twitter this morning. Not a lot of lineup changes. None, in fact. Looks like Jake Evans is still in. It looks like, Romanov on the back end still in. So that means, Kotkaniemi won't play again in this game. And I don't see him getting back into the series at all. So it'll be good tonight. But, yeah, I'm going with the Habs, too.
Joe Lazito's watching in Long Island. He says, I hope the Habs hockey gods made the trip to Tampa. I hope that they're allowed into the country. Mandy in Edmonton says, man, I said from the start of this XFL talk that a merger wasn't going to happen. Rod disagreed. It was just talk.
That?
RP show gave it more attention than it needed. Well, I'm sorry to talk about the CFL. Damn it. You know what? Let's just talk hockey then. So, hang on, Moose. The viewers want to know where you're at today, which golf course you're at.
Yeah, we're at the Elmwood in Swift Current.
Okay, beautiful.
This is not the Elmwood behind me. This is a friend's place.
I know the comments are coming in like crazy with the CFL, XFL declaring their breakup today. We'll get into that more with Smitty. If you can come back on me for a second, guys. So Dan Goodspeed, you all remember Goody. Dan Goodspeed, Super Bowl winning champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003, right tackle. Played in the CFL with Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. Hang on. I haven't called for that yet. That's him, but hang on. He writes me from Tampa Bay. And when he left the CFL, he said to me, Rod, if you're ever in Tampa, give me a call. I didn't think I'd ever be in Tampa. Well, lo and behold, you never know where life's going to take you, right? So Goody writes me this. Hey, Rod, been listening and watching to your radio show this week from the COVID capital. That's what I called it a few weeks ago. He's been paying attention. He says, your new flag is hideous.
How about that?
He says, if the Habs had any chance at winning the Cup, your boy Brendan McGuire on your blog wouldn't be referring to it as the COVID Cups. We did it last year. Not as fun, but still had a huge parade. Everyone here knows it's the Bolts in 5 on home ice. The Stanley Cup was last series, Bolts versus Islanders. I'll send you pics from the victory parade on the water. Go Bolts. Z, 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 z. All these emojis. You know what they are, Moose. He says, P.S. Hope you're well. Show looks and sounds good. Looking forward to the CFL season. Signed, Dan Goodspeed. And I'm like, oh, now Goody's awake. We've only been trying to get him on the show for the last year, Clark? Yeah, so one night in Tampa Bay, here's the story. This is a great story. I find myself in Tampa Bay. I go to a game of the Buccaneers and the Bills. And who's the featured alumni of the Bucs that night? Dan Goodspeed. Now you can bring the photos up, guys. So we're at Raymond James Stadium, and here's Goody showing off his Super Bowl ring. He's the featured alumni. So he says, right around the corner of that, he's like, Rod, come sit with me, and I want you to bring you down to the field at halftime. I'm like, okay. So I try to scale. Well, I didn't. Just hang on. I was getting to that. So I scaled the fence to get into the VIP section, and the security comes running up to me, and they're like, you can't come in here unless you're Buccaneers alumni or a member of the Glazer family. I said, who's the Glazer family? Betty Big Wheel, the security lady, said, they own the team. So Goody's like, just wait. I'll bring you down at halftime onto the field. And that's the photo, guys. You can bring it up now. That was on the field at halftime. Dan Goodspeed, the honored alumni. Man, they do it right at Buccaneers games. Obviously, I took that photo. And I just love the guy, Dan Goodspeed, a Super Bowl champion and just a tremendous CFL alum. So there's my Dan Goodspeed story. Okay, so let's bring Moose back in here. Point 3 of the Quick 6 show topics here in the warm-up for Ecol Electric. And if you don't mind, I'll tell you that Ecol Electric is your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. Ecol Electric. Let's get to work. NBA Finals last night. I watched it. Phoenix beat Milwaukee 118-105. It was a decent enough game, but the Suns led throughout, and I hope they sweep it for the sake of the Valley. Point 4, Darren's what I wanted your opinion on. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, saying prior to that game last night that it's unclear if the Raptors will be able to return to Canada to start next season. You must have seen the furor that caused from sports fans in Canada. What's your take on that statement by the commissioner?
I know that's tough. Like, I would have a lot more optimism if I were him, especially with the border, kind of being open for quarantines a little bit, at least in this province now, right, for coming back. Excuse me. But that's him being any boss, any commissioner, not wanting to commit to anything. We're still unsure. We don't want to commit to anything. I don't want to say that it's going to be open and they're going to be able to travel again, because what if I'm wrong? But I would have rather heard him say, we're really optimistic and we think Toronto's going to come back, but we don't know where COVID's going to be and what the variants are going to look like. That just sounds like him, corporate speak is how I read that, right? Is he just doesn't want to commit to something he's not going to know what it's going to look like. But I think it's probably, I wouldn't be too worried right now if I'm Toronto Raptor fans. I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be able to travel and be back in Toronto, but that's kind of how I read that statement.
Well, we're a year and a half now-ish into the pandemic, and we really have no idea where this is going. We still don't know who to listen to. Like, for instance, I saw that as Adam Silver saying, and by the way, I'm a big fan of his, it is unclear. They don't know. What else is he supposed to say? And then the other thing is the CFL, as a guy said to me yesterday on the phone, they still don't have the government approval for their return to play protocols, yet they're in training camp. You probably saw the video on Instagram of the Rough Riders yesterday, or they're on the field, whatever they're doing. And we're going to go into the Toronto bubble next hour with Ricky Collins of the Argos, and he's going to take us deep inside what they're doing there. But they still don't have government clearance from what we know. We haven't heard anything on crowd sizes. And yet,
I know
they're selling tickets for games. So I'm just rolling with it. I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong or who's trying to snow us and who isn't. But to say that Adam Silver says it's unclear whether the Raptors can come back or not, he's just being honest. Point 5, the Jays blow one at Baltimore last night, 7-5, ruining a tremendous outing by Steven Matz, their starter. But Rowdy Tellez is gone. He wasn't having a very good year. He's dealt to the Milwaukee Brewers for 2 arms. Were you sad to see Rowdy go?
You know what? Fun name, fun guy, but no. I mean, at this point, they have to do what's right, and clearly getting the right mix in that bullpen is mission number 1 for the Jays. And whether these 2 guys will help right away or not, yet to be seen. But no, not sad to see him go. They got to find something to surround those great young players and start turning these into some more consistent wins.
Yeah, I love Rowdy Tellez, but he was in Buffalo. I mean, in the minors, for God's sakes. He wasn't even up with a big club. Yeah. So hopefully the trade pays off, and I think that Mark Shapiro and crew, Ross Atkins, have a history here of making good deals. So, and what I liked when I was reading coverage of it was that it was a deal between 2 contending teams, the Brewers and the Blue Jays. I'm like, wow, we think that the Blue Jays are contending. That's what I got out of that. That's a good thing. Point 6. Is everybody getting aboard the Denmark bandwagon here? Choo-choo. Are we putting a bet on this semifinal of Euro 2020? My country, Denmark, which is literally my country, versus the team that you're pulling for because your country, France, bit the big one. So it's my team versus your team. Are we down to the Final 4 here in this thing?
We are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who had Denmark making it this far?
I don't know. It'll be fun. It's funny. I got options. I got a little French, little English, little Ukrainian, little Icelandic. But it'll be fun. We'll put lunch at the tap?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Your family tree's a bush. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
By the way, our rock star of the day yesterday was Devin Caney from the National Lacrosse League and the wide-ranging interview. I see that Darnell's watching today from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. They sponsor the rock star of the day. Darnell said he is indifferent to the news today that the CFL and XFL have broken up. And one more time, the poll question today is, how do you feel about the news that the CFL and XFL have broken up? And over 70% saying that they're happy about it. Our Instagram poll is on the hockey game tonight, and the majority saying that Montreal will win. Moose, thanks for riding shotgun for this. We'll let you go do your thing. Thanks for this, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, have a great show.
Thank you. Darren Moose DuPont joining us today from the Frontier City in the warm-up. The big news today, the The CFL and XFL announcing they are no longer collaborating on any talks. There will be no merger. And in the bunker next, Craig Smith, two-time Grey Cup champion, our director of scouting, to talk about that news and also Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final tonight. You're watching the Rod Pedersen Show on Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook as well, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, everybody. We are coast to coast on Game Plus Television, and big news today. If you missed it, the CFL announcing that they and the XFL have called off talks. They're done. They are no longer pursuing a collaboration nor a merger, and that's what we're talking about today. And also, the Stanley Cup final tonight. Game 5 goes down in Tampa, and we got our flag going here. We are not popular in Tampa, As I have read the messages from Tampa earlier, that's okay. I'm sure I'll sleep just fine tonight. Craig Smith is with us, our director of scouting, two-time Grey Cup champion. How you doing, Smitty?
Doing well.
Listen, everybody wants to know your XFL, CFL take. And by the way, that's our poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. How do you feel about the news that the CFL and XFL have broken up? And on Twitter, more than 70% saying they're happy. They want the CFL left the way that it is. And on Facebook, pretty much identical, 79% saying they're happy. But Smitty, I need your take on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Why not? It's game day. Habs and Lightning tonight in Tampa. What's happening?
Well, which one? Which one?
The hockey.
The hockey? I think Tampa's going to win, and I think they're going to be celebrating tomorrow. But I'll tell you, every series that Montreal was in, the first one, down 3-1, came back. Mm-hmm. I never thought that they were going to sweep the Jets. Jets are obviously my team, and they've just kept on coming back. And that doll that you have on there, number 31 there, he's been obviously a big part. If he comes big, you just never know, and you just never know. That's why they play the games, right? So, but I think Tampa's going to win tonight, but we'll see.
We'll all be watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 6 p.m. Mountain face-off from Amalie Arena tonight.
That's a great place for hockey, man.
Isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, everything about that facility in that city is great.
Yeah.
We'll come back on all of this, and I welcome everybody in with their comments on everything, this game tonight, and also the CFL-XFL news. I'm looking at my computer here for the comments. Jennifer down at the Four Seasons says, I honestly didn't care. I just want football back. From Chris Bird in Toronto, he says, CFL-XFL merger talks break down. Twice failed expansion attempt by the CFL. He's just getting a little dig in there because that's what everybody's saying about the XFL. I've said much ado about nothing, a waste of everybody's time. Having said that, it gave us a lot to talk about over the last 3-4 months. I will say that, but in the end, maybe we shouldn't have expected anything else. But here's our football aficionado. Your take, Smitty, on the news today.
Well, when I saw that texted out this morning, I had a smile on my face, and I was not a big fan of that. The only way I would like to have seen that is if they kept the Canadian ratio. And I was talking to somebody that's in our league, and he was saying, and he's an American, he was saying that, you know what, there may be a chance that they may be able to do that with there was some sort of a lawsuit with regards to immigration and stuff like that. So I went, okay, well, I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, I don't think that you could have had the same ratio with 18 teams, but at least have, where Canadian kids could at least play pro football down the road. As far as the rules, if they modified the rules, I'd have been okay with that. But the big thing for me was to make sure that the Canadian players were able to play pro football again. So yeah, like I said, let's get this the CFL thing going. Owners, put your money where your mouth is. Let's get rolling with regards to this, and let's make this league strong, and hopefully we can just keep on going for years to come.
My good friend Peanut Butter Pete is watching from the energy capital. He said the CFL is and always has been a premier league, has never gotten the credit it deserves for the quality of the game. Tonight's game all depends on Carey Price. He can single-handedly win the game, but Tampa's got a lot of firepower. #GoHaps. That's from Peanut Butter Pete. I was reading the NHL public relations website this morning, and they said the Lightning are averaging 4.07 goals for per game in these Stanley Cup playoffs. 4 goals a game the Lightning are averaging at home. It does all come down to Carey Price tonight. Hopefully the price is right. The rest of this series is going to come down to Carey Price. Yes, sir?
I'm in the pool.
Ours?
In your pool.
Yeah.
And I only got 2 guys left, and it's Stamkos and Point.
Yep.
And they have done nothing the last couple of days.
No, they haven't.
But hey, that's the way it is.
What is your ranking in that? I'm 147th.
I'm 107, I think.
Nah, you're a scout.
Yeah, I was 89 for quite a while, and then my guys have done nothing. Mm-hmm. And I don't have anybody on Montreal, and
Well, I don't know what it's going to take. I picked 2 of the final 4 teams left.
Wow.
And still don't have a sniff of winning this pool, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see what some of those winners have picked. I'd love to see those teams.
Did you see the Seattle Kraken jersey in the lobby here, by the way?
Oh, I didn't. I'll have to take a look at it.
Can you see it, Kathy? It's right in the lobby. That's one of the prizes the winner's going to get of our Stanley Cup playoff pool here. Anyways, back to the football, by the way. Of course they called off the talks. That's the thing. I mean, they want you to concentrate on this season. They want you to buy tickets for this season. But what do you think, Smitty? The comments from the fans and the viewers have been as interesting as anything. Like, somebody said to me, no surprise when they're trying to concentrate on this season and sell tickets that they wouldn't explore this any further. But do you think they get through this season, praying that they do, and then we hear it again, that they start talking about it again?
Anything's possible, that's for sure. Here's the big thing, money. That's the big thing with our league. If we've got money issues. I've really liked what you said ever since this show started. The CFL is a fantastic product. We have other issues with regards to it. Mm-hmm. So if we can keep this product going, if we can get the marketing going with regards to, getting people out, and then that's what we need to do. We need to get bums in the seats, and hopefully they can do that this year. Hopefully with the vaccinations, it'll be able to allow people to go there without any fear. I have a fear about going into crowds. I don't think I'll be going into a crowd for a bit, but obviously I'm in a little different situation. But and the thing is we didn't have football last year. I think a lot of people are just so starved for the Canadian Football League that I think that they'll head out there and they'll be able to see, our fantastic game, our good product.
Sprinkling in comments from our viewers as we go. Chris, watching in Toronto, says it would be so good if the Ontario CFL teams could coordinate games and tickets with the OUA, which is the Ontario University Athletic Association, and give us more exposure to up-and-coming Canadian football players. The problem with that, sorry, Smitty, but and Christine says, she says, more fans equals more money. Marketing is key. But the thing is right now, for the CFL in 2021, it's not about marketing. It's about playing. That's it. Like these ideas should have been done years ago.
Absolutely.
And that's a little bit of what Arash is saying right now. This whole XFL thing was just a complete waste of time. They should have spent the time and the money and the effort in fixing what they have now.
I totally agree.
And from what I can see, they haven't really done that.
Yeah.
Lauren Smith in Kamloops, he says, I tuned out all the CFL-XFL speculation. I never saw much substance to it. Well, we could never agree on whether it was even a good thing to be talking about it or not. You see the poll results today, over 70% of you are happy that the CFL and XFL have elected to break up. They're happy that the CFL is going to stay the way that it is. And my thinking is, what is it? What is it? It's a damn shrinking league. But having said that, and we're just sitting here having coffee today in a BS session with Smitty, a guy that stayed in the Chateau Champlain many times with your lovely wife, Kathy, and we were talking about that before it went to air.
I don't think
she didn't say that?
No, I was by. Because I'm a Marriott guy, they gave me
It is a Marriott, but anyways.
It is a Marriott. They gave me a penthouse suite, and it had a piano in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it had a where you can have a meeting. I mean, it was incredible. They gave me that because, I have so many points or whatever. I stay in so many. But it probably was close to where you were doing your show.
Yeah.
Way up there. It was pretty cool.
We were on the top floor. And so speaking of that, I see the CFL fans are chiming in from coast to coast because this is the CFL show, and I appreciate that. They've got their thoughts on this CFL news today, plus the season coming up. But if we give Montreal hockey, if we can say that nobody does hockey like Montreal, then we're sitting here in the football capital. Can we say that out here in the middle of the prairies? Mm-hmm. And the people here are tremendously excited about that August 6th game, the BC Lions at the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I mean, tremendously excited. And people are saying to me a lot, are you going to go to the game? I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go to the game or not. I have not decided yet. But when I was in Montreal, Craig, for 5 days last week, there was quite a bit of talk of the Alouettes. Like you ever been to McLean's Pub on Peel Street?
No.
It's right up from the Chateau Champlain. I guarantee you would have seen it.
Yeah.
And there's a nice little patio out there, and we're sitting on there, and the bouncer was talking to a buddy about the Alouettes this year, and I was trying to talk to DuPont. He's like, shh, I want to hear what they're saying. It was all about Vernon Adams and Kahari Jones. So you know that they love the Alouettes in Montreal.
They're great football people out there, like the whole province. I mean, they have that CEGEP, which is before university, and they have a great league there. They have a great university program all over the place. Laval, Montreal, Sherbrooke, etc. It's fantastic. And I used to go there and scout. And I would sit in the stands, in Montreal, or be up in the beautiful press box in Laval, and other places. And they're very, very strong. They also like to have a few drinks, a few beers at the games too, which is pretty cool. But they're very strong with regards to football, and they. I remember hearing people, same thing, talking about, hey, maybe the Als might win it this year. You never know.
Right.
This was a few years ago. And so, I think they're pretty good as far as football is concerned.
Comments coming in like crazy. I appreciate those watching on Facebook and YouTube as well as those on Game Plus TV. Jonathan Kinder watching in Kansas City. He says, I don't know how much more I'll listen after the Cup. I listen for the NHL and XFL since Kansas City doesn't talk much of either. So what do you say? You came here for Stanley Cup talk, and once the Cup's over, you're not going to watch the show anymore? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Not at all. Especially if we read your comments on the air. We're the heroine of sports talk. We just give you a little shot.
Yeah.
And then you're hooked. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, you haven't decided if you're going to the game, Rod? I would think it would be a given that you're going. The bracelet says one day at a time. I'm just trying to get through today. The game's in a month, so we'll figure that out down the line. Regarding the CFL-XFL plans, up in smoke. Armando Moreno watching in Mexico City says, so should I just forget about the Mexican team in the Continental Football League? Yep. It was all a wild goose chase, potentially a contrived plan, and...
But the good thing is there's some global kids that are coming to training camp, and some of them are Mexican kids. So, that's a good thing. You can follow those kids, and we'll see what happens there.
Hey, just answering questions here. And we'll take a break and come back with a sports update. Jonathan Kinder says East Coast Hockey League talk would be nice too. It would be nice. It would be nice. But this is a Canadian show, bruh. And we have some CHL news coming up in our sports update, by the way. But the East Coast Hockey League, although we did have, is Brendan Kotick, right, Clark? South Carolina Stingrays coach on last year. My whole plan in this pandemic was to adopt a team in the ECHL. For all of us to adopt the team, like we did with the Korean Baseball League last year. Yep. Just didn't get out of the gate. It just did not get out of the gate, especially when the NHL started playing. I love the new viewer in Kansas City, Jonathan Kinder. He says he would like us to talk about the East Coast Hockey League, and he'd like us to talk more about the Stanley Cup, but not so much about the XFL, because Kansas City doesn't have a team. You're new, Jonathan. Here's the deal. I do the talking, and you do the watching. That's how it works. Right, Smitty?
Yep.
You know that. Everybody knows that. So if you're welcome to stay, but that's the deal. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. We'll be right back with a sports update, a little more viewer takeover because it's fun today. And Ricky Collins Jr., Toronto Argonauts wide receiver, coming up in hour 2 as well. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Oh, boy. Should have had a camera on in the break. Smitty and I talking about some interesting stories. We'll just bring them back on the air here when I'm done. The big news today. CFL and XFL both announcing that they're no longer considering a collaboration nor merger. And this Jonathan guy down in Kansas City, I'm starting to like him. His first time watching today, he says, I would have loved a Blue Bombers Battlehawks game. I just want more football in the spring, summer to go to. I'll watch CFL games on ESPN. On the flip side, Corby writing in and says, beyond thrilled, the XFL needed us, not the other way around. So I wanted the merger. I wanted it to happen. I wanted road trips to take our show to Tampa and St. Louis and Seattle and Houston and Dallas, and nobody else wanted that. Because change is not good. Change is bad. Craig, didn't you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, sports update. Chris Paul had 32 points and 9 assists. Devin Booker scored 27, and the Phoenix Suns beat the returning Giannis Antetokounmpo and his Milwaukee Bucks 118-105 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Pedro Severino and Cedric Mullins homered off Steven Matz. Anthony Santana also went deep, and the Baltimore Orioles powered past the visiting Blue Jays 7-5 at Camden Yards. Toronto hit 3 home runs, including number 28 from Vladdy. But all those long balls came after Baltimore had taken a 7-1 lead. Breaking news, the Canadian Hockey League announcing today that 2 clubs have submitted intents to bid for the hosting rights of the 2022 Memorial Cup presented by Kia. The Quebec Rempart and the St. John Sea Dogs have announced their intention to bid, with the host team being announced the week of September 6th. The Remparts have twice hosted the Memorial Cup, doing so in 2003 and 2015. Led by general manager and head coach Patrick Roy, the Remparts finished the 2021 season in 4th place in the Q's East Division. Meanwhile, the St. John Sea Dogs, founded in 2005, have never hosted the Mimmer, but have participated in the year-end tournament on 3 occasions. Montreal Canadiens quite literally flew into a storm to continue their Stanley Cup final series with the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Canadiens arrived in Tampa just as Tropical Storm Elsa was gaining strength along Florida's west coast. Conditions are expected to improve for tonight's Game 5, with the Lightning up 3-1 in the series and looking to wrap it up. And the NHL's top-ranked prospect, defenseman Owen Power, says he's leaning towards playing his sophomore season at Michigan next year rather than turning pro. Power says he won't make a decision until after the draft, after consulting with the team who takes him. He's from Mississauga, Ontario. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I will get to your comments in a moment. They're coming in. I can barely keep up. Mike Blackbird in Toronto says, well, we can always hope for Canadian teams in arena football. Wah, wah, wah. We would need our own Canadian football indoor league, which we could do. My God, if there was a country built for indoor football, it's here. I always said if I started a team, he'd be my personnel guy, Smitty. By the way, when we had a lingerie football league team here in Regina, were you around then?
I was.
The Regina Rage?
Yeah, I never went. But
I went. Guys were clamoring for the scouting job for that team. I'm not joking. I'm not going to name who they are. You know them.
Yeah.
Volunteering. I'll work for free to scout for the lingerie football league team. Just go down to Dudney on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was saying with Smitty, before I get to your questions, Knuckles Nyland's tweeting at me here. And I just said to Smitty, the biggest thrill of this job in my life, I used to say it was calling games was number one, but it's not that anymore. I don't get the charge out of that. It's meeting your childhood heroes in a lot of ways. Knuckles Nyland cooked for me Friday night at his house in Montreal. And by the way, the quote, he's digging at the potatoes out. If you don't like potatoes, you're screwed. But he used the F word. If you don't like green beans, you're screwed. And if you don't like veal, you're really screwed. And I brought 2 cakes. Did you see those?
Saw them.
A cheesecake and a tiramisu. And I had written on them by the gal at the bakery, "Go Habs, go." So we go into Knuckles' house, and they're boxed up with a ribbon on them. And I said to his gal, Jamie, cut open those boxes. Cut open, because I wanted to get a picture of it. Knuckles, don't you come into my house and give me orders in my kitchen. I loved it. But who's the legend, childhood legend that you got to spend time with later in life that you just never, you were so grateful for? Well, you didn't take for granted.
Ron Lancaster, obviously. I mean, when I was a kid, he was a quarterback and very, very successful. And then, lo and behold, I go out and I get an interview for the director of player personnel job in Hamilton, and Ron is there with Greg Marshall and David Sauvé. I had
the Western Greg Marshall,
the Western Mustang Greg Marshall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had met Ron before, and but so I'm going in, and then so I get the job, and I'm in the office for 2 weeks, and Ron comes into my office, says, "Come on, we're going for coffee," and I said, "Huh?" "Yeah, we're going to go for coffee. Bernie's coming too." And Bernie Custis,
wow,
who's a legend as well. So that started, until Ron passed away. We would go and we'd solve the world's problems. And like I had said to you on the break, I wished I would have taped some of those conversations. Even he was a guy that could tell a joke. It was incredible. It was just so fascinating. And I'll tell you a story. He was doing games in 2008.
Lancaster.
Ronnie was, and he called me. He said, "Craig, you going to scout the game in Toronto?" Hamilton was going to play Toronto. And I said, "I am." He said, "Okay, well, let's go together. Park your car at Holiday Inn, and I'll pick you up." So we go in, and I'm thinking, this is unreal. and we're friends, but still, I mean, there's still that
Ron Lancaster
star thing. So I told him, park underneath. I don't know if you ever parked underneath the Sky Dome when you've gone to
I didn't know you could, so that's a no.
And neither did he. So we went and parked, and he went, man, this is fantastic, because all you do is you go to the elevator, come up, and bang, go to gate 13 to get your credentials. So we parked underneath, and from there to get the credentials, it was like I was walking with the Prime Minister of Canada.
Come on.
Hey, Ron, how you doing? Hey, Coach, what's going on? And he had to get his street meat, so we got a hot dog and sit, and we're eating, and guys are, hey, Ron, it was just incredible.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Chris Bird in Toronto, man, he's got a lot of comments coming in today, but they're all good. He says, the only knock I have against Ron Lancaster is that he was never an Argonaut.
Yeah.
And I remember the weekend, Wally, well, the weekend that Ron Lancaster passed away, the Lions were here, the BC Lions playing the Riders, and Wally at his news conference before the game, because I used to not like Wally, and he didn't like me. And he said at his news conference, Ron Lancaster, because we're all in mourning, right? Yeah. City Hall had their lights lit up in 23.
Oh, really?
Do you remember that?
I was in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay. So just the whole province was in mourning, and Wally's like, Ron Lancaster doesn't just belong to Saskatchewan; he belongs to the entire CFL. And I'm like, you. Oh yeah. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
In retrospect, but I didn't have the depth of history that he did. They're telling me we got to go to a break, Smitty. We'll come back with this. And more. Tons of comments coming in today. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery. Stars, we can accept admission. This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Just a fantastic day here in the RP Show. We've got our director of scouting, Craig Smith, with us in the bunker. Two-time Grey Cup champion, and two things going on. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final tonight, Montreal at Tampa. He's got the Lightning to win tonight. I've got the Habs to win tonight. 6 p.m. face-off Mountain on the CBC here in Canada. And the CFL announcing this morning, they and the XFL are breaking up. They want to see other people. And 70% of you, over 70% of you on the poll question today saying that's a good thing. You like that. George Carter's watching in Montreal and says, you guys are right. Montreal is a great CFL city. And contrary to certain hockey fans, CFL fans don't burn cop cars when they win. Go Als.
How about that?
How about that? Tacona Pauli says, anyone on chat or does Rod know, can Americans buy CFL gear in the USA? I'm not the CFL's merchandise shop. I think it's cflshop.ca. I don't know. Ask them. Nick Lewis. You know the Hall of Famer Nick Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
Regarding celebrity brushes, he says, I bought Michael Irvin food before the Celebrity All-Star game last month. The Playmaker? That's exciting. And Wayne in Victoria says, I love this show today even more than usual because of all the Ron Lancaster talk. He was not only a great player and coach, but also a great man. There's no doubt. Yep. Smitty's going to stick with us into hour 2, by the way, into the second hour kickoff. But we've got about 3 minutes left here in this segment before we break. And you said you wanted to mention some talk about CFL training camps, which open on the weekend. Yeah,
they open up July the 10th, and they're allowing 100 players. You know, so obviously this is a little different. And I texted a few people in the offices, and they were talking about, it was pretty smooth. There was obviously some problems, depending on who you talk to, but all in all, it went well. It went better than a lot of them thought. So that's a great thing. I haven't heard about how the players are in there. Obviously, it's going to be a little different thing. But let me just say this: thank you very much, coaches, management, all the people, all the players that are doing this, that are coming, and it's a huge sacrifice to get this thing going. And thank you very much, CFL, for getting this rolling. And it's going to be worth it. Now, their first cut is going to be to 75, and that's July the 30th. So this is going to be a little different. No preseason games. I looked at BC's training camp schedule, and they're talking about that they're going to have 3 scrimmages. Usually they'll have 1, and then they'll go and play preseason, but they're going to have 3 scrimmages. So they'll have a lot of time to get from 100 down to 75. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a very interesting thing. And then get rolling, obviously, first game August 5th. It's not ideal. And the coaches being creatures of habit, and I don't know what you would say, but no preseason. Yeah. My word for these guys. But having said that, the National Football League last year didn't have any preseason games, and they come out cracking in hour 1 or week 1. Yep. And that told me that the quality of coaching, obviously, the quality of player. Now, CFL, different story. With all these vets retiring, I mean, I've said it. Can you imagine being a coach right now when you don't know who's going to be in your meeting room on a day-to-day basis with guys dropping out like flies? Yeah, you got to have that mindset. Okay, next guy up. Yeah. I'm a coach. I got to coach with what you gave me. And, it's sad because, there's going to be a lot of starters that are going to be missing. Now it's going to be, okay, you have an opportunity now. Let's go. And the coaches – we have great coaches in the Canadian Football League. Outstanding. I respect a ton of these guys, and I know a lot of these guys. So these guys are going to get them going. It's going to be – but just like you said, it's going to be tough in certain areas, especially an offensive line. Michael Alley's watching in Los Angeles. He says, I am not completely happy that talks of the XFL-CFL merger have disappeared.
This whole thing cost the XFL the 2022 season, but maybe that was the plan. And from Ray in the 6, he's in the Kitchener, Ontario area. Hi, Rod. Welcome back. I just want the CFL to survive. They need all the help they can get. Not sure XFL news is great news. The CFL financial model is not good. Any shift in the wind can collapse the league. Another item, Lightning will not be returning to Montreal for Game 6. Signed, Ray in the 6. Sounds like a true Leafs fan. How about that? All the Leafs fans are just cheering for Tampa tonight. Of course, what else would you expect? 6 p.m. Mountain Face-Off tonight, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. You can vote on our polls on Instagram right now, Rod Pedersen Official, or Twitter. Are you happy with the CFL-XFL news? We'll discuss all this coming up after this break in the Hour 2 second half kickoff on Game Plus Television.
All right.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
now.
So this was my weekend, by the way. This is why I'm so happy. I bought goalie equipment from Canadian Tire, street hockey gear.
The one question I have, were you playing with a rubber puck at least?
No, of course not.
You had street hockey pads on and no protection other than
I wasn't even wearing a can.
How about that?
And I went, stacked my pads. I'm like, whoa, I got nothing on down here. I never thought that I would be leaving my pins. Seriously.
Wow.
And no mask.
Talk about putting them on the table.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome to the Hour 2 second half kickoff, everybody. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Seattle Kraken fan club. We're excited today. We got a couple breaking news items coming down the pipe. One, the Canadian Football League announcing this morning that they and the XFL have broken up. They are no longer pursuing a collaboration nor merger. They are no longer talking about talking. They're going their separate ways. Sounds like for good. That's the statement from Commissioner Randy Ambrosie anyways. And then, of course, it's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight. The Montreal Canadiens at the Tampa Bay Lightning. And while I've jumped full on with the Habs, clearly, even though they knocked out my team, Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, they're upset at us in Tampa Bay. And they say it's ending tonight. And where is this comment here? We got our director of scouting, Craig Smith, in the bunker, two-time Grey Cup champion, and they're loving him. They always love him. And I do want to say, hey, to the football people that are watching, the coaches, the players, because they're DMing me, they're texting me, and they're saying how much they're enjoying the show, and they're enjoying you, Smitty. They love you, Smitty. And, well, you know that. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Well, that's a good thing.
But they're watching in the bubble all across this country. They're cooped up, and they're watching the show, and I appreciate you for doing that. And we're going to go into the Toronto bubble next segment. Ricky Collins Jr., wide out of the Argos, is going to join us from Argonauts training camp to tell you what life is like inside the bubble. Mandy in Edmonton's watching. She says, love Rod's energy on the show every day. I wouldn't keep coming back if it wasn't for that. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate you, too. Jeff in Winnipeg says, if this collapse happens, the mayor of Tampa's statement will rank up there with when Arthur Blank decided to leave the press box to be on the sideline to possibly celebrate the Super Bowl win. Oh! Biggest collapse in Super Bowl history, right? 28-3, right, Clark, your Falcons? Wasn't it 28-3? And the owner comes down from the press box. Well, wait a minute. I did that for the 2013 Grey Cup, or 2009 Grey Cup. What do you think about the mayor of Tampa saying, let's lose Game 4 in Montreal and then come back and win it on home ice because we deserve that?
Well, I think that's silly. I mean, there's no way a team is going to go out and lose a game so they could win it at home. You know, I mean,
what a maroon.
That's ridiculous.
What an absolute maroon. Well, she won't be invited to the game tonight, I'm sure.
Oh.
I got to get some messages in here from Brady, of course, because we've been riding this train up and down all year with Brady, the Habs fan. In Saskatoon says, hey, Rod, big Game 5 coming up tonight. My RP Show shop order is out for delivery. Oh, shoot. Where's your gal? We got some nice Montreal Canadiens gear that we're selling from the Rod Pedersen shop. Anyways, obviously Brady has ordered some. He says, I have the Suns winning the NBA Finals in 5. Big news today about the CFL and the XFL parting ways. CFL remains Canada's game. Go, Habs, go. From Jim Wagner, the CFL game is far superior to the XFL, but I do fear what may happen now that the potential hot girlfriend has left the CFL single again. How about that?
How about that?
Thanks for another great show. And I'll get to the rest of your comments in a moment. It's like Winnipeg. They have the NHL. It's his hometown. They have the NHL, the AHL, the WHL, the AJ, or the MJHL, right? It's like Seattle. They got 2 WHL teams are getting an NHL team. The more hockey, the better. The more football, the better. And Smitty, you said it. I saw you tweeting this or somewhere you said, in the 90s, we had NFL Europe, we had CFL, we had NFL, and look at the players that we still found.
No, that's when I first started. It's 2000.
Whatever it was.
2001. Yeah, there was 4 leagues that were paying, and we still got players like G. Roy Simon, you know, we Casey Printers, you know, we still got players, you know, so there's lots of players, you know, so that's not an issue, that's for sure.
I thought it was a very profound comment by you that you would say that. Because, look, it's the way the football people talk. When the United States Football League announced a month ago that they were coming back, my phone blew up from CFL coaches. That league's a joke. Their owner's a crook. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, what? Why is there the need to dance on the grave of these other leagues from a CFL perspective? I don't understand.
See, I loved it when NFL Europe was going. I really thought that it was great. Great for development. It was good for us to go down to take a look at players but development of quarterbacks, development of players, and I think there's a need for that. I think there's a need for another league, that can do that. And hopefully something will come out. And XFL, the first time they did it, they had good people down there. They had good coaches. They had good players. It was goofy the way they did things, but I think they need another league down there that it could be done properly. Maybe in the South, not. I've said this before. Don't fight the NFL. Don't be playing when the NFL is playing. Play in the spring, and where there's no NFL, football's pretty good back down there. But I think that would be another. It'd be great to have another league down there.
It's the big news today. The CFL and XFL pulling the plug, and then Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. But I mean, something's happened, and I don't know what. I'll tell you what. This is why you watch this show to find out what I know. And we thought that the owners in the CFL, the teams were split. Some wanted a merger, some didn't. I was told what the commissioner would have preferred to have happen, but I'm not going to divulge what that is because he'd have said if he wanted that out. But the reason they announced, I'm told, that they were even talking was that it had gone so far down the road that they were afraid it was going to leak out from somebody within a team. So they made a statement from the league level. That's how it all started on March the 10th. They're like, this is getting out. We need to make a statement. Or too many people are finding out about this. And here we are, March, April, May, June, July. 5 months later, and no, it's done. What changed? What could have changed?
I was surprised to hear that,
Yeah.
Because obviously with all the what we had heard before, and then all of a sudden today, well, we're done. I was very surprised at that. Again, like I said, I was happy with the news. I like the way our league is, etc. But I was very surprised at that news for it to come out. And what the heck happened? I guess I could do some digging and find, but
I could too. But I know everybody wants to talk about the games, and near the end of hour one, you were talking about training camps, and they open on the weekend, but no fans are going to be allowed. Which is fine. It's whatever.
I wish they would allow fans to go to training camp. I would love to have gone. But it's going to be interesting. Who the heck knows who's going to win this year? I mean, there's so many different questions, and COVID obviously is one. What's going to happen? What kind of team is each team going to present? It's going to be very interesting. Quarterbacking obviously is always the deal. I think right across the board, there's pretty good quarterbacks. But the health in Winnipeg with Caleros.
Yep.
I mean, that's the issue. They lost 2 defensive backs, which were critical in that run. But Richie Hall, it's going to be so interesting. Saskatchewan Roughriders, I said it at the end of 2019 when they lost to Winnipeg. I said, next year, I think that they're going to be the champs. Well, you know what? They could be the champs this year. They've got... That's another thing is the 2 quarterbacks that they got. Mason Fine, he's a guy that I watched for years. And in 2018, I was talking to Jeremy, and Jeremy said, I put Mason Fine on. I said, you're kidding me. I said, you should have seen this kid throw.
He's a stud, huh?
The only problem with him, he's short. He got him at 5'11". He's not 5'11", but the kid can throw. So what the short quarterback has done in our league. So and the other one is Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch is. I went to Kathy went there too. We went to a bowl game in Miami, at where the Miami Marlins play, BYU and Memphis, and Paxton was the quarterback. And I looked at him and I went, well, I guess we're not going to see him. And then of course he gets drafted first. Who knows what happens? Just like you just never know, right? You never know what.
That's what's fun about it.
Now he's a writer, So there's going to be a battle there, and Ken Fajardo, can he do what he did? If he does, they still got that running game in Powell. They've got those receivers. Offensive line, Labatt missing, and there's another kid that
Jacoby Cofield.
Yeah.
And Dakota Shepley's gone to the NFL. However, I was talking to a coach the other day from another team, CFL team, a D-line coach, and he's like, the Riders will be fine on their own line.
Well, don't forget they got Boyko too.
And Evan Johnson.
Yeah.
Who they signed in free agency.
Evan Johnson is a stud.
Right. So Riders will be fine there. The fun thing here is what people are chiming in. This was what we've been missing. Jason in Red Deer says, I know who's going to win this year. Sorry, guys. It's Bo and the Stamps. You got nothing to apologize for.
Could be.
You got nothing to apologize for. Just taking a picture of something.
Man, I can hardly wait.
But then the Bomber guy writes in. Where is he? Bomber's going to win. Tacona Powley writes from Winnipeg. They're they've kept most of their championship team together. They actually have. They got something going on in Winnipeg, and I remember going to the Hall of Fame induction in Hamilton in 2017-ish, maybe 16. It was awesome, man. It was the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. It was at Tim Hortons Field. It was on the turf. It was just like Canton.
Yeah.
Beautiful night. It was like 27 degrees Celsius, whatever that works out to, mid-80s. And O'Shea went in that year. Yeah. And G. Roy and Kelvin Anderson and Brian Towers.
Did Hoppy? Towers.
No, not Hoppy.
Yeah.
But anyways, the speech from O'Shea. Of course, I was the voice of the Riders at the time. The speech from O'Shea made my knees knock. And almost got a tear in my eye. And I came back to Saskatchewan, saying, Winnipeg's going to be great with this guy. And look what happened.
I was there for 2 years, and I saw, and it's not only him, it's Kyle as well. What they've got, and Ted and Danny, what they've got is very, very strong, and they'll be good for a long time.
But the amazing thing is, Zach Caleros has started 4 games.
Yeah, I know.
Is he going to be in the pantheon of iconic Blue Bomber quarterbacks? Zach Caleros, Kenny Plain, Dunnigan,
no, you can't.
Kahari.
Yeah, you can't do that. But he won a Grey Cup. He won a Grey Cup.
Come on.
But, hey, listen.
Mount Rushmore of Bomber quarterbacks. Go.
Oh, Bomber quarterbacks?
Yeah, Bomber quarterbacks.
Definitely Kenny Plain. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I would say Don Jonas would have to be up there.
Who?
Don Jonas.
Oh, you got me on that one.
Yeah, well, he was a Shenley Award winner.
Dieter Brock?
Dieter. How many do I get? 4?
You get 4.
KJ was really good.
They love him.
Yeah, he was really good, and yeah, man, it's.
Well, Dunnigan won Grey Cups there, right?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No.
What were they? 88.
Tommy Clements.
Tom Burgess.
Tom Burgess won a Grey Cup. He was really good.
Grand opening, grand closing. Why can't they keep a dynasty going there?
Yeah, how many years was 29?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought that, hey? And you know what? Dang, they went to play Calgary in the Grey Cup in 2001, and they were favored and lost to an 8-10 team. That's why they play. I was
there.
That's why they play, yeah.
James in Borden, Manitoba says the Bombers look good if they can keep Caleros healthy.
That's the huge key.
It's a big if.
Yep. Because unproven in backing up. So it's critical.
The CFL fans are awake.
It is a Viking shirt.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer at the Four Seasons Sports Palace, who sponsors this fine segment, the second half kickoff, says, is that a Viking shirt you're wearing?
She's at Four Seasons?
Go Packers. Yeah, you've probably met her.
No,
she runs the Four Seasons.
I heard that they have pretty good pizza there.
Outstanding.
Kathy and I will have to head over there.
I go for the boneless dry ribs.
Oh, we'll get that too.
Yeah.
They do take out.
Hey, the guys are all saying, and forgive my memory here, but Sean Salisbury, who we've been trying to get on this show for some time, and I just think it slips his mind. He's doing sports talk in Houston right now.
Yeah.
But they're all saying Sean Salisbury 1990. For sure. But who started the game? I got to apologize. I don't think I watched that Grey Cup.
No. Sean Salisbury was in 1988. So he
So they got it all wrong?
Yes. Salisbury was 88. Burgess was 90.
Come on, guys.
And 3 quarterbacks.
So I had it right.
3 quarterbacks threw touchdown passes in 1990. Sammy Garza, Danny, and Burgess.
Troy Durrell writes in and says, how does everybody feel about the Ticats this year? I think their roster is loaded.
They're going to be good.
And they'll be highly, highly motivated. I got them picked to win the Grey Cup.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Yeah, despite the fact that they're not my biggest fans, I've got the Hamilton Tiger Cats picked to win the Grey Cup. I'm looking at the stat. I got into the big board. Well, Robert Mims had himself a game.
1990.
Okay. You people
he lives here,
that think you know CFL football, I was right. Tom Burgess was the most outstanding player in the football game of the 1990 Grey Cup. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
I was in the stands at our season tickets.
Where was it?
BC Place.
Was it awesome?
It was awesome. And
they're all awesome.
You know what? They are. I've been to so many Grey Cups. I went to 13, I think, before I was in one.
Yeah.
And I've been in 4 and who is it? The Kabilas, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Kabilas in Winnipeg.
He asked about the Grey Cup, how heavy it is. It's not that heavy. It's very surprising. It's such a big trophy, but you take a look at it, it's just made of thin metal. And you can pick it up pretty easy, so it's not a heavy thing.
No, and as you asked if I lifted it up, and I have, but the Stanley Cup, I have not, because I've never won it. But all the boys say it's heavier than hell.
I bet.
That's what they say. I don't get that I'll probably ever lift it. Paolo is watching on YouTube, and he's had a few comments here. I'm trying to find his first, just regarding the CFL and XFL splitting up today. He says, if two major media companies enter talks to explore a merger and mutually decide against it, is it a waste of time or just following what due diligence revealed? Because he's saying it was not a waste of time. I'm saying it's a waste of time. Arash is saying it's a waste of time. He goes on to say, Paolo, is it a waste of time to simply explore an endeavor and then decide not to pursue it? CFL simply announced they were talking. That's due diligence. These talks can always be continued in the future. For sure, I think DuPont said that. My first take, I was just leaving the house this morning and boom, notification went off from TSN that they've dropped the talks. And I'm just like, of course they did. Why even announce it in the first place then? Now, listen, it's given me 4 months of content, right? But the stuff that's coming out on Twitter with some CFL people, by the way, saying, just look who leveraged your fears as a CFL fan for their own ratings and clicks. You know what you can do? Shove it.
How about that?
But why? Why do I even go on Twitter?
Well, there was a reason why the talk started.
Why?
Because there was the money issue. So and there's no harm in talking. And you know me, you know how many times I said never say never. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? The big thing is people out there, what you got to do is you got to make sure that you go buy tickets and fill the stands when you can to support this league so we can keep it going forever. And that's the bottom line.
Gary Echeverry. Never's a long time.
Yeah.
What a beauty. Yeah. Listen, James in Morton, Manitoba says, I'm just happy to have the RP show and a CFL season at the same time. I did not start watching till COVID hit, so having real games to talk about will rock. Oh, yeah. That's the secret sauce. Glenn Erickson in Medicine Hat says, yep, Ticats look solid. That's why that August 14th game in Regina is on my dance card. A good early season measuring stick for both teams. And one more, Jason in Red Deer says, dang, Craig has a memory like an elephant. That's what makes you great at your job, Smitty. Yeah. Can we do this? Can we do this more?
I'd love to. I'm finally getting the life back. After I haven't really been doing stuff for 3.5 years because of leukemia, and then this pandemic hit, and then I really locked down. So Kathy and I have been pretty much locked down. I went to a store, and people the Ultimate Fan Zone. This is one of the best hats that I've ever had. I couldn't. Obviously I'm a big Viking fan. Kathy, how many hats do I have? I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of hats, but I couldn't believe it when I went into the store. I mean, if you're interested, just take a drive out to Moose Jaw, take a look. They got so many different things, every different types of sport. I tried this thing on, I went, I got to buy it. Like it's just totally incredible.
Plus, it's your team.
Plus, it's my team, but it's a little stretchy for this big noggin. And I bought a Detroit. I didn't have a Detroit Lion hat, and I've got a guy that works there in player personnel that I really respect. So I wanted to buy that. I got 2 hats, and it's a great place.
You could have bought them all. Ultimate Fan Zone, Musha. Smitty, thanks. Kathy, thanks for everything.
Appreciate it.
See you, Jasper. And
people, please go buy some tickets. Let's get this CFL rolling.
We are going to Toronto next, inside the Argos bubble. Wide receiver Ricky Collins will be joining us from the University of Guelph. Hang on. You're watching the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues after this break on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody, on this Wednesday, episode number 520 of the RP Show. It's a very special treat for you. I should have worn my Argos shirt, which I bought in the Toronto airport the other day. but I'm wearing it in spirit. Let's go to the University of Guelph right now, which is where the Toronto Argonauts are holding their training camp. And this is a guy, Ricky Collins Jr., whom I told him before we went to air here that I'm excited for the interview because I thought he retired. A couple of weeks ago, he signs with the Argos, and now he's in training camp. How you doing, Ricky?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Well, 100% now that I'm talking to you. What happened? You just couldn't stay away from pro football or what? Take me through what led you to sign back in the CFL and with the Toronto Argonauts.
Man, it really started with the kids that I was training or whatever back home in Tyler. They was always asking me, Coach, why you retired? You still young. You got more years to play or whatever. And then it made it more easy for me to sign back to the CFL with my wife. She's talking about, I know you still got more left in you. Do you think this was prematurely, stuff like that?
Well, I tell you what, Ricky, I'm proud of you for doing that. And I met your wife, I don't know if you remember it, that, I don't know what it was, autograph signing or something at Capital GMC, and met your little man there. And this is a pretty inspiring story to me that I didn't even know. So when you went out and looked for a contract, because I know you'd had some offers, what made Toronto appealing to you?
Just me knowing some of the coaches and some of the guys over here on the team. I know that I would be able to mesh well with the coaching staff and then also with the players. So that made it an easy choice.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell me, if you don't mind, what life is like for you right now. I guess, are you guys calling it a bubble? What are you calling it there at the University of Guelph? What's your days like?
Right now, I mean, we call it a bubble. We call it, some people call it jail. Some people call it, But right now, we wake up in the morning and do meetings, and then we're done for the day. I know we get to take 2 15-minute breaks, like go outside and make sure we're not congregating around each other and stuff, take a walk or whatever. But usually I'm done around 2:15ish every day. Get my day started at like 10 for right now.
Well, you mentioned that you're not you mentioned it off the air, not the most active Twitter guy, but I see some other CFLers saying that they're going nuts in their rooms already, and it's kind of just starting. But you're a pretty mentally tough guy. How are you getting through this?
Shout out to my wife, man. She sent me up a projector screen so I could, a projector, not a screen, a projector, so I could play my game, my system on it. It was, at the first 2 days, it was low-key kind of rough, man, not being able to watch TV, not being play the game, just being stuck in a house with nobody else in it. It was crazy.
Well, so I'm interested. For those that don't know, Ricky played with the Saskatchewan Roughriders from 2016, 2017, with the BC Lions in 2018. And then Edmonton last year, where you had your best year as a pro, 1,103 yards. You're looking, obviously, to build on that. And you're still a young guy, Ricky. They're right, born in 92. What is it about the Argos offense that has you excited that you could light it up out there?
We got so many pieces. It's hard for teams to just focus in on one receiver. I mean, you look at the names that we have, like DeVaris Daniels, Eric Rogers. Then we got Kendall Wright, me, myself, and then you have Jawan Bresterson. Like, those names right there just jump off at you, And I know at the end of the day, those are just names, but people know what we can do. So it's gonna be fun.
Two more that I'm thinking of. Dejan Brissett. Have you had a chance to talk to DB out there yet? Like, you talk about this talent, you guys haven't, I wouldn't think, been on the field together yet.
No, we haven't been on the field. We haven't been on the field together at all. But I haven't been able to talk to DB. I've definitely seen his film, though, and I like the kid. I like him.
Yeah, and a Toronto kid, I think the sky's the limit for him. And then here's another name, Martavis Bryant. Has he shown up yet? Is he in camp?
Martavius Bryant. Martavius being Martavius, That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I know you guys will be rivaling each other for throat tattoos, but this is going to be an unbelievable competition in training camp, man. Like, I would want to, you could sell tickets to watch you guys training camp sessions, I would think. That's going to be explosive.
Yeah, I mean, training camp for the receiver corps, man, it's going to be a good one. Like I said in my article, if you play in the wrong sport if you don't like competition. That's what it's all about. competition brings the best out of everybody. I mean, I love competition, so I mean, I hope the next guy loves competition. That's what football is.
Have you got the sense, Ricky, that there's a little bit of a chip on the players' shoulders there with the Toronto Argonauts? I mean, you've been down in the States, in Texas. I don't know if you've noticed. You were like the latest when you got signed, right? The Cameron Judge, the Charleston Hughes, all these big names. People are like, where are they getting the money? Sean Oakman. Where are they getting the money from? Have you guys kibitzed about that and laughed about that? They're like, there's no way they can afford all these guys. Is there something brewing that way and you guys want to prove people wrong?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a chip on our shoulders. I mean, I know I can speak for myself, being a late addition to the team. Because I know everybody is saying it's a lot of egos out there on the team, which, I mean, it is. Everybody's their own man, But at the end of the day, you just go out there and play football and take care of business at hand. Everything take care of itself.
Ricky, what's funny about that is you hear it all the time, right? And there's only one ball. You've played on some very good teams in the CFL. How do you satisfy a bunch of guys that want the ball on every play?
Man, everybody just got to stay patient. That's all it is. You got to stay patient and know that your number is going to get called and just make a play when your number is called. Don't get surprised when your number's called.
The interesting thing, too, is your quarterback position. I'm not going to, again, you guys haven't been on the field yet, but there's a little bit of a question mark who starts in week one. Nick Arbuckle or McLeod Bethel Thompson, right? I mean, I guess that's what training camp is for, but those are two pretty talented guys. What have the meetings been like with them?
I mean, receivers haven't been able to meet with the quarterbacks yet, but I know both of those guys, their understanding of the game, their understanding of the offense, and they're top-tier quarterbacks. I mean, look at what McLeod just did recently. Look at what Arbuckle just did, So that's going to be a good competition too, man. I don't care who's back there, I don't care if it's 1A or 1B, whoever's out there, we're going to go have fun. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I know the next man – go ahead.
No, you go. The next man, yeah. Go ahead.
And I know the next man, whoever's not starting at quarterback, he's going to be cheering on the guy that's in the game at that moment. So that's something that we're trying to build.
Well, I think that's very exciting for the Argos, and they might be my number one team this year. But I got to tell our viewers a story that when you came to Saskatchewan in 2016, you'd already made the team. You and I have talked about this on this show before, but you didn't know it. Right? And one of the guys that was running, you're smiling already, was John Murphy. And I'm like, Murphy fumbled a punt in a preseason game, man. Normally you cut a guy like that. And Murph's like, oh, no. We know what he is. And they did know what you were. So when you had this as a player, when you had that opportunity to sign with the Argos, I got to think that Murph's fingerprints were all over that deal because he's your number one fan.
Yeah, Murph being Murph, man. Once everything got going, my agent, Murph, me, we talked about everything and stuff like that. We ironed stuff out, and the rest is history. I'm the Argo now.
Yeah, but you've played in BC, you've played in Edmonton, you've played in Saskatchewan. You've only played in Toronto in road games. What is it about that city and BMO Field and that franchise that has you excited to take the field here next month?
I mean, for me, one thing is that I want to help restore what the Argos once was, It was a good franchise, man. We're in a great city, it's Toronto. So with bringing back what Toronto once was as far as a franchise, it did been in a good city, a great city, you can only imagine.
But, the last one I have for you, Ricky, is you're doing this a little backwards. Your old teammate, Brendan Labatt, has retired. You've seen all the news of guys retiring. You came out of retirement to play. Like, that's a heck of a story right there, man. And, you see these retirements across the league. I guess everybody has to do what's best for them, right? I mean, what's your take on the way things are going down in the CFL right now?
All right. I mean, everybody's being a man. They're standing behind what they're doing. And I'm 100% with everybody. If you're retiring, if you're coming out of retirement, it doesn't matter. If you're sitting out a year, you're doing what you need to do to make ends meet or to be there with your family, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I applaud everybody that's making every decision they're making at this moment.
Good for you, Ricky. Well, I'll say it again. I applaud you for yours. When I saw that news release come across from the Argos that they'd signed you, I'm like, He just couldn't stay away. And I'm glad to hear that your family was involved in that decision. Listen, if you want to tell any of your teammates if they're bored and they want to come on our show, they're more than welcome to. But I appreciate you spending some time with us today, Ricky. Always good seeing you.
Nah, no problem, man. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
Good having me on today.
Appreciate it. Ricky Collins Jr. of the Toronto Argonauts joining us from the University of Guelph. Quarantine ahead of Argos training camp. We'll be right back with a sports update. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel. Offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. Canada's only daytime sports talk show, which automatically makes us the best. People chiming in from Quebec again. So I want to remind you, contact your cable carrier out there in Eastern Canada, Atlantic Canada, Quebec. We're on with Game Plus, Videotron, Eastlink Cable, and Rogers. A sports update coming up in a moment, but from the text line from the 541, Randy Butler is his name. He says, Habs game tonight. If the Habs continue to lay licks on them, especially on Braden Point, they will win tonight again. Go Habitants. How about that, guys? How about that? I got Montreal winning tonight. I really do. From Bob in Grand Prairie, Alberta, home of the Storm, writing on the Prairie Mobile text line, and you can too, 306-840-8777. Says, unless we were privy to the CFL-XFL talks, we don't know if possibly there was something to look at in the future. Therefore, we can't say publicly it was a waste of time. Arash Madani wasn't there either. We'll get to that in a moment. And DG writing in from the Bridge City. Morning, guys. A little bit of an off-topic point here. I know you read the blurb about Owen Power announcing he is looking to return to school. A bit bigger story there than people might realize, as college athletes can be paid now, and he must see an opportunity. This will have big implications for the Canadian Hockey League's recruiting. Not good for Canadian hockey fans. DG in Saskatoon. That so far off my radar. Big story nonetheless. So sports update. This is what the Bob was talking about in Grand Prairie. If you missed it earlier, the CFL says partnership talks with the XFL have been jointly halted. On March 10th, the CFL and XFL announced they were poised to begin serious talks about a potential partnership. Neither side said who initiated talks first, only that they'd agreed to collaborating on ways to grow football. CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie said in a statement this morning, while we remain open to finding new ways to work together in the future, we and our XFL counterparts have jointly decided to not pursue any formal arrangements at this time. Clearly, they are no longer talking about talking. And of all the rhetoric and social media storm that's come up since this announcement this morning, I can't even remember the dude's name. He wrote us on Twitter and said, "Oh, good. I was so afraid they were going to try to grow the league." The idea of the CFL staying the same scares the hell out of me. That's my take on this. The Phoenix Suns are inching closer to their first ever NBA title. Chris Paul had 32 points and 9 assists. Devin Booker scored 27. And the Suns beat the returning Giannis Antetokounmpo and his Milwaukee Bucks 118-105 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Tuesday night. Phoenix was last in the finals in 93 when the Suns lost to Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Why do I feel bad for people all the time? I feel bad about our closed captioner guy that watches this show and texts this show on breaks. The guy that does the closed captioning? How do you think he feels about Giannis Antetokounmpo? He's probably still typing Greek freak. The Montreal Canadiens face a steep battle to keep the Tampa Bay Lightning from winning the Stanley Cup tonight. Montreal is attempting to achieve the NHL improbable in becoming just the 5th team and second in the final to overcome a 3-0 series playoff deficit. The Habs are down 3-1 after taking Game 4, 3-2 in overtime at home. By the way, I thought that nobody'd ever done it. But I was reading the game notes this morning from the National Hockey League, and I guess the 1942 Leafs came back and won it all. Did you know that, Clark? You've heard it, yeah. There's a rumor. Back when there were 6 teams. Not that matters. We'd have to ask Lynch. He would have watched that. Toronto ace Hyun-Jin Ryu starts tonight against the Orioles in Baltimore following the Blue Jays 7-5 loss last night at Camden Yards. Ryu is looking to improve to 3-0 against Baltimore this year. Orioles go with Matt Harvey, who is 0-8 in 11 starts since May 1st. That's the good news. It's been 55 years since England reached any type of major final, winning its only World Cup title at Wembley Stadium in 1966. England is one step away from another final, however, facing the juggernaut Denmark today at Wembley in the European Championship semifinals. England has yet to concede a goal in 5 matches at Euro 2020. The winner will face Italy in Sunday's final. I might even be watching today because I am of Danish descent and my country's made it to the semifinals. Who knew? Who knew we had a team and that we were actually good at soccer because we suck at hockey? Toronto FC assistant coach Javier Perez is in charge, at least for tonight's match at New England. Chris Armas was axed the day after Saturday's humiliating 7-1 loss at DC United, which represented TFC's heaviest ever margin of defeat. Toronto's lost 6 in a row. How about me in the soccer coverage?
How about that?
This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha, RP Show viewers get 20% off with a promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. From Colin in Ottawa, says, how would Lynch have watched the 1942 Stanley Cup Finals if the games weren't broadcast on TV until the mid-1950s? Colin, you seem like a real fun guy.
How about that?
From Michael in Toronto. So how does the CFL improve their situation? What have they been doing for the past 15 months? See, that's the point. And Arash, and I know we're going to go to a break here right away, but this is what Arash said. I screenshotted it. We've all, and I don't mean just the media, but yourself, the viewers, everybody's had a take on the news today that the CFL and XFL have agreed to go their separate ways here. My thing, as I was walking to my car this morning from outside my house, the notification came up and it was like, CFL-XFL call-off talks will not explore collaboration. I'm like, of course they did. I just think it doesn't look great. Arash on Twitter, a total waste of time, energy, and resources. Could have reshaped its business model. Instead, months of idiocy, and the bag is empty. Can't wait for the comedy from the apologists who crowed the merger was the way to save the CFL. I guess everything's fine. I don't think that it's fine. But that's what we're led to believe, so let's go with that. And training camps open on Saturday, and they will play. You saw Craig Smith, our director of scouting, imploring the viewers to buy tickets and go to the games because it's all about money. I thought a bigger league, more teams. Hey, we've been down that road. It's up in smoke. Kevin Olenek on YouTube says Arash isn't wrong. No, I don't think that he is, but he's getting lambasted for just putting on Twitter what a gigantic, colossal waste of everybody's time this whole thing was the last 4 months. But as many have pointed out, what else were we going to talk about when we didn't even know if they were going to play this year? So it gave us something to discuss. Clark joins us in the bunker next for overtime. Hang on, we'll be right back. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-In Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
It's overtime, and we have let Clark out of his cage.
I'm doing just fine.
I didn't ask how you're doing.
Well, it's a song. It's a song lyric. Let me out of my cage and I'm doing just fine.
Oh, okay.
Ryan wanted me to say that.
Okay. We're gonna face off in a second here on the news of the day, the breaking news. If you've heard it, the CFL and XFL have broken up. They've gone their separate ways. Who knows if they'll come back together or not, but for now, they're no longer talking about talking. We're going to face off about that in a second. But first, ole, 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 ole. We the North, tonight, Game 5, Stanley Cup Final. Do I feel cheap and dirty that I've jumped on the Habs bandwagon? Not on your life. They've given us all these gifts, just like the Golden Knights did. Like what? These other teams need to step up to buy our love. But we won't be doing this again. Order merchandise on game day, and if the Habs win, you get it for free. We did that on Monday.
Are we doing it again for Game 5? Oh. Too
many people ordered.
Too much lost revenue.
RodPedersenShop.com. Go buy it. There's no freebies if the Habs win tonight. Just saying. I might wear this tonight. It looks good.
There you go.
So to the face-off now for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. The news of the day, the XFL and the CFL pulling the pin. For me, I'm like, of course they did. Got us all worked up and then walk away. Disappointing to me. But I want to know your opinion on this.
Sure. Yeah, is Mandy watching? Mandy.
Yeah, she always wants your take on the CFL.
I'm about to mention the CFL, Mandy. No, but I think I was nervous about it just to see what they would have done in terms of merging the two leagues into one. rule. There was too many things going on with like what rules would they use and what are they going to drop from the CFL and adapt with the XFL, and is the ratio going to, all that stuff was it was a little nerve-wracking, I think, for a lot of people. But I'm a little upset that there wasn't some sort of mutually beneficial and positive business side of things that they could have come to terms on, whether that was some sort of revenue model or business model that the CFL clearly needs to work on still. But something along those lines where, the CFL maybe could have grabbed a few things from the XFL. The XFL could have snagged a few things from the CFL, and both have benefited in some way. And I don't, like Darren said earlier in the show in the warm-up, like maybe that's not over yet. Maybe they're just putting it on pause for now, and maybe next year it picks back up and they start conversations again, and they're just focusing on this season now. But I don't know. We'll see. But I think overall, it is what it is, and I'm just glad that the CFL is, ready to come back on the field, and we'll see what happens next year.
That's Clark's take.
Here it is.
But if you had to boil it down to voting on our poll, happy or sad with today's news, what are you doing?
I would say
yes
a
or no?
little sad.
Okay, sad. And me, sad as well.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. So that's the face-off today for the Ultimate Fan Zone, Moose Jaw, and the Mad Greek Restaurant. And by the way, Craig Smith was in here, our director of scouting, earlier on. He went down and bought 2 lids at UFZ Moose Jaw, the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. They literally have everything. Clark yesterday was just wearing his new Blue Jays. Can I say Blue Jays top?
Sure. Yeah. I got that baby blue, and then I also got some hockey jerseys customized as well because they do that as well.
So they can do it all.
Adam Brooks Leafs jersey. Loving it.
Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s, writes in and says, never been a fan of a rash and never will be. Arash has his opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. That's cool. We all have opinions. Let's not get worked up about everybody else's. Although somebody said here, when do we get Arash on the RP show? Dar Netzel.
Yes.
Sounds like a Star Wars character to me. Dar Netzel.
Read it backwards. Listen hard.
Listen hard.
There you go. How about that?
Are you booking Arash?
I just texted him.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Let's get him on this.
Yeah.
And let's round it out on this. Andrew Stute. Clearly a Habs fan because his Facebook avatar is the Habs logo.
Yes.
And he says, the pressure is on Tampa, I believe. Habs have nothing to lose. I couldn't agree more. And I agree with Craig Button. Gosh, he's a dashing and sharp guy on TSN, their director of scouting, who said the Habs need to go out tonight and throw caution to the wind like they did in Game 4 because they've got nothing to lose. And he was just like, why did they wait so long? Why were they playing so nervous and upset in the first 3 games? Not that I need to quote Craig Button, but I just really agreed with what he was saying. And it's still going to come down to Carey Price. Clark, if they're going to win this Stanley Cup, and they still could, Carey Price has to go into God mode from the start. It would have been nice if he got into God mode from Game 1, but he didn't. But we are where we are, and there's no time like the present, and you can't tell me that the people in Montreal aren't thinking that there's a chance. There's a chance.
There's always a chance with Carey Price. And, even though it hasn't come out yet, it didn't come out early in the Leafs series either. They lost 6-1 and 4-0 to the Leafs in that first series. And then flipped a switch, Carey Price God mode came in. So I still think it could happen. And, hey, they've come back from a 3-1 series deficit before. They've staved off elimination, Rod, before. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they can do it again tonight. I'm not overly hopeful for them. I think Tampa's a different beast, but we'll see.
Thanks, Clark.
Yeah, for sure.
Tomorrow, do you want to tell the folks, since you don't get out here very often, what we got going on?
So we've touched base with the Seattle Kraken, and we've had him on before, but Everett Fitzhugh is the voice of the Seattle Kraken, the radio voice. He's going to be on with us again tomorrow. So we're going to chat a little Seattle Kraken. Obviously, he's going to talk all sorts of hockey stuff with you guys, but it'll be fun to get Everett back on the show. And then we have a special guest in hour 2.
I like
special guest. I'm going to tease it, but I'm not going to say who. But CFL fans, you'll be happy, so it'll be a good one. But I'm excited about that.
Well, it was a great day today, and I do want to thank the CFL for dropping this news just before we went to air, because not like we didn't have anything to talk about, but it certainly has given us great direction for today's show. Again, tomorrow, Everett Fitzhugh, the radio voice of the Seattle Kraken, a special guest that will be with us in hour 2. I want to thank today our director of scouting, Craig Smith. People really love him.
Oh, yeah.
2-time Grey Cup champion, and Ricky Collins Jr. of the Toronto Argonauts. And our good friend Dan Goodspeed for checking in from Tampa Bay, who's saying, Go Bolts. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern right here on Game Plus. You screwed up, Clark.